Here's our system. I'm going to take my keyboard away and we can have our cool cyberpunk. If you are watching us here on Spotify, YouTube, we've got some great cyberpunk effects going on in the background here. Hey, what it do? Welcome back to Emlyn in the Mix. Yes, season 5, episode 1. We have made it for y'all with a brand new show, brand new season. It is a brand new year. I'm so pumped and excited to be with you guys here this year. And of course, we're checking out the brand new Console 1 Channel MKIII from Softube. Yes, we have the hardware here in the studio. There it is there. Got my cyberpunk graphics going on in the background. Got to be a first, hopefully a first, using the MKIII Console 1 channel. Now, what is it? For those of you who don't know, it is, of course, a channel strip, hardware software affair, beautiful precision, developed by Softube, who made these console ones before with the Mark I and Mark II iterations. I had the Mark II, really loved it, fell in love with it, did a few videos there on the YouTube channel. You can search back if you want to check those out. And I consider myself a bit of an OG when it comes to the console one, but I had to get the Mark III because it just makes mixing so much fun. I'm going to show you on the show. I'm going to attempt to show you and give you my first impressions today. So thank you so much for joining me. And yep, I know it's already halfway through January and it's my first show. The holidays are over now. I've put on a bit of weight. We've had Christmas. We've had New Year's. Let's just get stuck into the goodness. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. We're going to have a great year this year. And we're kicking it off strong with the Console 1 Mark III. So, all right, let's just quickly go over what is it for those of you who don't know what it is. And if you just want to skip past me talking about it or just reading it off the website here, I'll have a timeline down below for those of you who are like, he's just reading it off the website. Or what other stupid comments have I gotten recently? I'm not allowed to say things are amazing anymore. Apparently things are not allowed to be amazing. Okay, I don't know. I love you guys. Love the haters too. Everything contributes to the growth of this channel, so that's all that matters. Anyway, Console 1 Channel Mark III, the sound and feel. So here it is, beautiful looking unit. They've done a really good job. Like, everything is very visible now. It's got these two little screens. Actually, we jump back over and you can see the two little screens there. I'll show you how they work in a moment. But basically, it's all connected to my little ditty, my little track we've got here today. Bit of a techno banger number that we've got, but I'll just show you how that works when we get into it there. Now, if we scroll down a little bit here, so say goodbye to mixing with a mouse and let your ears guide your sound. This is very true. This is why I've loved the Console 1 software hardware environment. I've always loved it because you really can, with this unit, you can step away from looking at the computer screen. You really can. And they've made it much more visually pleasing now with these two little screens on it as well. So twist the knob and submerge yourself in the feeling of a world-class studio. Put timeless high-end consoles at your fingertips and the workflow of the future. Discover your dream console. Discover Console 1 Channel Mark III. All right, so mixing the way it should be. I mean, you get the idea. The whole idea is that you have this unit in front of you. And actually, I got another overlay there. You can see me there in my studio. Hey, guys. So you have the Console 1 Mark III in front of you. I've actually got it hooked up to the fader one. I don't know if you can see that there in the camera. The fader one, I think this is the first iteration, but they're gonna release an updated version of this, which should come out this year, and I'll do a video on that as well. But both of these work together beautifully. And in fact, believe it or not, I actually hooked up the Console 1 Mark II, so the version before this, with the Mark III, and they worked together. Like this, these guys have got it right. Softube have got the whole software hardware integration thing. They've done a really good job getting that all worked out. Now, I did do a video also on the core mixing suite, which is from Softube, and that is actually included with the Mark III. What is the core mixing suite, you ask? Well, it is a plethora of really awesome different channel strips that you can have. Like you've got American Class A, for example. I'm just looking on my unit here. You've got the SSL S1K4000. You've got the Summit Audio Grand, for example. So you got a bunch which are really fantastic, and I'll show you that as well, how you can just load the different channel strips in. And it's just really nice, has a really nice feel and sounds amazing. I know in that video as well, I was getting some hate, like some guy was like, oh, is that how you mix? But look, these videos are just to merely show you guys, okay? It's not the full end all and be all on how I'm mixing, but I definitely love the approach and the way that these things work. And I don't think you need to make mixing be a complicated thing anyway. So, and the console one makes it much easier. I'm totally rambling, and I probably will in this video. It's the first one for the year, so I digress. Anyway, console one channel will be the sexiest gear your desk has seen in a while. Okay, I'm looking around. We've got some cool, sexy stuff here on the desk, but yeah, look, if we jump over there, my overlay, there's some cool, sexy stuff here, but yeah, it's sexy. And the premium material, stunning Nordic night sky finish. Yeah, I like the finish. And robust build mean that it outshines all others in its class. But Channel is more than just a studio bling. Every rotation of Channel's touch-sensitive analog feel potentiometers, which are these guys here, and they do feel good, by the way. Where was I? I've missed it now. And on increase of more than 10 times the resolution over our previous generation gives you the sensation of the priciest outboard gear. They feel analog because they are. And that's true. It does have very subtle but very nice, sort of expensive feeling potentiometers there. Really nice indeed. Anyway, moving along here. So yeah, core mixing suite is included, which is the perfect channel strip to go with the hardware. And we did review this on the channel. We did look at this software at the end of last year. There's a nice over the top view there, or top overview, or however you say that. And works with most doors, I believe. A perfect fit for your door. Just plug it in. Console One channel works with all major doors without mapping. That's pretty cool. I didn't actually know that, because I mean, it is working with Ableton. You just have to load the VST3. I'm using it in Ableton Live today. So yeah, you can click below to learn more about the compatibility with Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton Live, blah, blah, blah. So if you have a different DAW that you use that isn't Ableton Live, like I'm using on today's show, then that's going to be perfect for you as well. And of course, you can expand your system. So here they've got the Console One and the Fader Mark II. Oh, I must have the Fader Mark II here. Oh no, actually, that's the Fader Mark III. Let's zoom in on that. Yeah, see, that hasn't actually released yet. So the companion to the new Console One channel Mark III is coming. Stay in the loop. So I'll be staying in the loop. I definitely want to get my hands on the new Fader One. I've got the older Fader One, but I didn't know it must be Mark II, my Fader One, because I only got these, well, not recently, but the Mark IIs have been out for a while, and I'm really excited for the new. It's going to just complement the Console One Mark III very well. Anyway, I hope that is enough of an overview here. As I said, there was a timeline down below. If you had to sit through me rambling, you're like, oh, I can't stand this guy. I just want to get to the goods. Well, now you've come to the right point. All right, so here we have it, the Console One Mark III. I've got it open in Ableton Live. You'll see Ableton Live up there behind me. And yeah, I'm just going to show you this little techno banger. And the first thing we're going to play with is this sort of like lead synthy sound. So I'll just play the track back here from the start. So you can see it's coming through here. I've got channel 1 selected. And if we solo that, okay, cool. So now we can just hear that little synth lead coming through. Okay, so I've got a low cut on it. And it's already got a bit of shape on it. So we're just gonna, let's bring that shape down a bit. There we go. We can put a bigger low cut on it. We'll just have a little bit though, like this. There we go. Now that you just heard the auto filter go through there. Now we can actually, what we can do, if we go from the top again, I'll just show you the different displays you can have here. So that's just displaying the track number and the name of the synth, and you can also see the output signal here. And then we've got VU meters, which is really cool, and then really precise OLED VUs. They look really freaking cool. And then we've got our gain reduction, but because I don't have actually any compression on, so if I turn it on, you'll see the gain reduction working. We turn it off and you won't see it working basically. Jump down again, and I believe this is my, oh, that's my compressor there. So that won't actually do anything unless I turn it on. And there's my shape there at the bottom. So I can really, let's play with the shape and see if we can get it sounding really nice. Put a bit of a high cut on it, a little bit more of a low cut. All right, let's hear that in the mix. All right, so we've got a pretty nice sounding track, right? All right, so I'm gonna play with the bass line now. So let me just get the, so from here, this is where we're gonna go from in our track. So now let's solo this little bass line. So you can hear the bass line here. If you do need to see, there's Ableton Live going in the background there. Put the overlay on so you can see me working away. All right, so that's our little bass line there. So again, we can either add a low cut, but because it's a bass line, I want to have as much of that bottom end as possible. Maybe take a bit of a high cut in there. We can check out VU, see how we're going. Maybe pop a bit of gain reduction on. There we go. That's nice, you can actually see it working away. Now you do have your drive and color like you did originally on the on both the Console 1, Mark 1 and Mark 2. Oh, actually I don't know about the Mark 1. I never had a Mark 1. But the Mark 2 you had your drive and color here, so we can just sort of get that sounding really nice. We're gonna add heaps of drive. I mean, it is getting compressed. I'll probably have a darker color on it. Let's hear that in the mix. That's pretty good. I really like that. So next, we just have, I believe that's just our drum beat, which is soloed. I might actually, where's my shape? It's hard to see from this angle that I'm sitting on, but yeah, that's my low cut, so probably want to have it. We don't want to have the full bottom end on it. We can take some of that click out. Have a listen to that. See, like I said, it just sort of makes mixing really fun again, like really super simple and really just intuitive. Like I'm not even really, to be honest, I'm not looking at my track, especially when you're mixing, you don't really want to be looking at the track anyway. And this just allows you to get in the back end and just really play with it. So we go back here, let's have a look. All right, so we got the bass drum sounding pretty sick. So let's unsolo that. And then I believe we've got a clap coming up here, and I might just start us off from there. All right, so we've got that nice clap sound there, which is this one. Here it is here. So we've got a bit of gain reduction on it already, and you can see the compressors working away, causing it to gain reduction out. You can see our VU meters here. There's a little bit of a delay, bit of latency on that, but it's not that bad. See our track again. These displays just make it so awesome. See our shape. I mean, if we wanted to, we could put a low cut on it here, but I don't think you'd want to have too much of a low cut. Somewhere around there is fine. You can put the high cut on it, but not necessary for the claps. Happy to have that there. Now, there was one other thing actually that you could do, and this is totally me trying this out for the first time on the Mark III. So let's jump back over here. Now, you could actually stereo spread. Now, I don't know why you'd want to do that to the claps, but you used to be able to hold down, I don't know where it is, maybe shift and pan. Let's see if that works. Yeah, width. Yeah, that works. So let's play that back. So we can put a heap of width that disappears at 200% or 100%, sorry, or we can make it completely mono. Now, that is a cool feature. I mean, yeah, I know every channel strip has, you know, a stereo width meter, but for something like, if If we unsolo that, we go to our bass drum, right? We solo that. Technically, our bass drum should be in mono, should be in the middle of the mix, like that there. Just sort of gives room, a bit more room for everything. Okay, so this is like my little build-up thing. Hopefully not getting sick of my track yet. I told you it was a techno banger. All right, so here we got this little sound. Actually, let's go back to it. I've lost it now. I think it's here. So we got this little sound here, which I've soloed up. I can mute it out of the track completely, but you want to keep it there. Now, this sounds a little bit distorty to me. So I wouldn't mind loading, and this is where I can show you the different console mixing suites as part of the core mixing suite that you have. A little bit hard for me to say, so I'm going to have to just step away from the mic for a second. So I think I'm going to try the SSL 4000. So we just press it like that. Now we've got the SSL 4000. Technically should be working. It already sounds better. Actually, if we got gain reduction on that, so there it is there, popping off. It is a little bit hot. Bring the input down a bit. And I don't think there's any gain reduction on this, but let's pop a bit on. There we go, just subtly, that's nice. And then I would add a bit of drive to it. Give it a bit of color there. And already, how good does that sound? And I would actually even go as far as adding width. Sits really nice. You can actually increase the input gain. Got our little build up here. Little swooshy swoosh. I'd actually take off a bit of the low end on that. Orchestra hit. This isn't punching as hard actually. Now that I've made it more mono, I think I'll bring it back a bit. For some reason it's not punching as hard. Anyway, just a lot of fun. You can see, just super easy to dial in, super easy to navigate around. I know this is not the most complex track, and you know, it just does it with ease. It's easy to navigate around. Like, I haven't really shown you much of the mixing section here, but I mean, to be honest, it's pretty straightforward. So if we choose, for example, where's our sound again? This one, not that one, this one here. This one here, we could add a bit of shape to it. So it's actually hard to see from this angle, as I said, but I can increase the gain in parts. Here we go, that's probably too much. We can actually change the Q as well, so it's not so wide and it's only just getting the parts you want. If I put my overlay up, I can see it much better. That's a bit distorted as well, so I'd pull the drive back a bit. I wish you guys could see the overlay, because the overlay is just adding an extra depth, which sounds amazing. Nah, it sounds really good. Anyway, guys, look, I think you get the drill. This is a phenomenal hardware software integration, which I absolutely love, and they've done a freaking really good job with it. And I'm even so excited I'm shaking the camera, but honestly, all in all, I mean, gotta love the Console 1 Mark III. Here it is. Let's have a look at it again. I think I've babbled on enough. There it is, Console 1 Channel Mark III. Absolute delight. These are my first sort of impressions, and I know it's not a deep dive, but it's just a first look at it. My first impressions, what did I think about it? Hopefully I fulfilled your needs for the first show this year, checking out the Console 1 Mark III. I eyed it off as soon as it got released. I was like, damn, I got to get my hands on that. I know the distributors at Softube, really appreciate them for reaching out and letting us check this out here. There is so much more to this unit. I know I haven't checked out everything here today, but you can really have a lot of fun. You can dial in your EQ, you can turn it on, you can turn it off here. It's freaking anything you imagined a channel strip to have, it has it, and it's hands-on. I know channel strips are not always the most exciting thing, you know, it's going to have it here in the background, but I know channel strips are not always the most exciting thing to have, but they're sort of a necessity, and I believe this makes it exciting. Anyway, what did you guys think? What do you guys think of the Console 1 Channel Mark III iteration? For me, I freaking love it. I cannot wait to get the brand new Fader 1 Mark III to integrate with this. I love my Fader 1, but I think the newer models are just going to sit really nicely together. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. This is just the first of many on the Console 1 Channel Mark III. I'll do more of these as I sort of get to learn more about it myself. I'm still a bit of a noob to it, but it does have a lot of familiarity with the previous models. If you are a previous owner and you're looking to upgrade, probably that's the type of people that are going to watch this video. They're going to be like, should I upgrade? I would say yes, only because I went from the Mark II. Mark II, and it's very good, but if you want the nicer feel, those little LED screens, you know, they really make it much more visually. You can literally take your eyes off the computer screen. You really can with it now, and it just feels tactile is much better on this. Anyway, all in all, I'm totally rambling now. I'm digressing. It's my first show. I don't care. It's my show. Can do what I want. All right, guys, I'm excited to be back for the year, and we're going to have a great year together. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back next week with another episode with another amazing piece of gear. This year is going to be very exciting for gear, software and hardware. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Leave a like on the way out. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't done that already. And until next week, peace out. Boom. Hey, thanks for listening to the Emlyn in the Mix podcast. Here you will find all the latest in music technology, software and hardware, interviews, and more. Also, don't forget to check out the Emlyn in the Mix YouTube channel today. Till next time, keep it real.